Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to change a tire on your Honda Ridgeline. Okay, first thing you want to do when changing a tire on one of these is set your emergency brake, which is this little lever right here. You push down, which you can barely see because it's too dark, but it's the third pedal all the way to the left there, inside on the driver's side. And that's going to make sure that your vehicle doesn't fall off of the jack. Then you open up the back compartment here in the bed and you can see your factory jack here and your tire and all that, and it's kind of like velcroed in sometimes, or this one just actually has just a little strap here. So undo that and then you can get the jack out, and then we'll go ahead and pull the tire out. So it looks like there's a couple of like wing nuts, one here and then probably one over here. We gotta unscrew those to get this thing to slide out. Alright, so we got a light there. Alright, so see that little wing nut thing there? We're gonna have to unscrew that in order to get this little thing to slide out, this little tire bed or whatever they want to call it. Spare tire sled bed. And then there's the other one. Same thing. Just unscrew that. Alright, and now you can just slide the compartment out. Like so. Then you gotta unscrew this middle part here, and this is your tire change kit. Has your lug wrench and your funnel in case you run out of gas, because these things don't have caps on them, so gas caps, so that's the funnel for when you run out of gas. Then just unscrew this until your back cracks in half from bending over, and now it's loose, and then we can lift this whole thing out here. Set that down on the ground, and then we can get our spare tire out. Just kind of lift it by the hub and pull it out. Alright, so these are usually low on air, so make sure you check the air, and it should go to 60 psi, which it should say on it right here, 60 psi. There's the light, so you can see it. 60 psi is what you should fill the tire to. Okay, so then you're gonna take your jack and your tire lowering kit that you got here, and you're gonna go ahead and locate your jacking point. Our flat is on the back, so we're gonna use the jacking point in the rear, but there's two on each side, 4 jacking points all together, and I'll show you those. They're underneath the lower rocker panel, which is the lower side of the vehicle. Just take the jack and kind of open it up a little bit, like so. So you can get it almost to the height of the bottom of the car before you get under there. And then you'll have your crank tool here, which will loop inside this little thing here. And then your lug wrench, which has the square cut out in it for cranking it, but we'll show you that in a minute. For now, we'll go underneath and I'll show you the jacking point. Okay, so alright, so underneath the vehicle right here, you'll see where the plastic is kind of molded away from it, and then you have this big chunk of metal hanging down, and then you also have like an arrow pointing. That is your jacking point for the rear. And just crank the jack up until it lands on the base of that. And once you get it tight and it's landed on it, then you can kind of stand up and put your tools together and crank it up to lift the car up or the truck up. But until you get that on there, you're really gonna have to lay on the ground and set it. That's what it should look like once you have it set. Alright, and then just take your little loop thing here and hook that in, and now we're going to take this little square part here, or whatever shape, and put it in there and start cranking it up. So now that you have the jack set, you want to take your lug wrench and you want to put it on your lug like so. Get the light over here. And then just step on it with your foot to break it loose. And that'll break it loose pretty good. Oh, I see here we got a locking lug nut. I didn't see that before. See how that's different than the others? That's a security lock, a locking lug nut. So without the key, we won't be able to change this tire. So we need to go look for that right now. Do you happen to know if you have the key for the locking lug nut? Alright guys, so we looked all over in the glove compartment and the center console, and we couldn't find the key for the locking lug nut, which usually looks like this. And I'll drop a little thing in the video here to show you what it looks like. This is what a complete set looks like. You can see the key there to the right. This is what the key looks like. Without this key, you're pretty much screwed, so you got to use one of these. All right, and so without having that key to get this off, what I use, if I can get the light over here to show you guys, I use this socket. It's you can get it from a parts store. It's for strip lug nuts, and it kind of has like these knurled edges inside of it there, you can see. And they kind of bite into the, if you had like a rounded off lug nut, like a strip lug nut, it would get that off. But it also works for getting these locking lug nuts off. So you can get it at like AutoZone, Advanced, O'Reilly's, something like that. 25 bucks, and just put it onto the, you got to get the right size as well. Like these are 21 millimeter lug nuts. So you got to get a 21, or this is a 23 here. So usually you want to have like a 21 if it's a 21, but it looks like this one's going to bite in, but it might be a little too big, but we'll see. And then you want to have a good hammer like this and just whack the hell out of it one good time. Make sure you don't miss and hit the rim, and then it should bite into it, and you can impact it off or take it off with a ratchet if you got that, you know. Okay, so like I said, just take this. Oh, I'm putting it on the wrong one. Put it onto the locking lug nut there. Just hammer it. Get it in nice and good so it bites into the metal. And then you'll take your lug or your ratchet or your impact and get it off. There we go. Takes it off just like that. Okay, so take the lug wrench, the tire iron, put it onto the lug wrench or the lug nut like so, and then just step on it, and that'll break it loose. Even if you're not strong enough with your arm, using your legs will usually always work. Boom, just like that. Alright, and then once you get them all broke loose, you can go ahead and start cranking the vehicle up. Alright, so you just want to connect this tool like so here at the end, and it should look like that when you're done with it. Alright, and then just put one hand on the little hook tool, and then crank with the other. Okay, so now once you have the vehicle off of the ground, you can go ahead and take the lug nuts and spin them off by hand. If they don't come off by hand, just lefty-loosey with the lug wrench, like so. They should come right off. Here we see that something has punctured the tire. So big old piece of shrapnel metal or something got in there and punctured it, and that's what caused the flat. So okay guys, so I use this Milwaukee inflator here, you know, got it from Home Depot, and it says the tire has 23 psi. So go ahead and set it to 55. I put it to 55, so it's 5 under the max, which is 60. Which should be good. Go ahead and pump that up so that way the tire is properly inflated when we mount it. Okay, so just take the spare, lift it up, and set it right onto the lug studs that are hanging out there. Those 5 things there, and then just turn the lug nuts on, righty-tighty. They should go on nice and easy. Just like that. Just thread them by hand to start out with. Should go on nice and easy. If they don't go on easy, like if you go to put this on and it's on tight and it doesn't want to turn, and it's all tight like that, then unscrew it and try it again, or unscrew it and check the threads and make sure they're clear, there's no debris on there, and there's no debris in your lug nut and the threads in there, and then try to screw it back on, because it should go on nice and easy like that. You shouldn't have to fight it to put it on. Okay, so once you get all the lug nuts on, go ahead and tighten them in a cross pattern with the lug wrench, like so. Tight, then go across from that. Whatever you do, go across, don't go right next to it. And tighten it like that. Just want to get them nice and snug. And then you can tighten them all the way. But like I said, use your cross pattern. Put it on there, down. And then if you're afraid that you can't get it tight enough, you can always put it on like so, and then just take your leg and push with your foot. And as long as you get it as tight as you can humanly put it on, then that's tight enough. You don't have to have a torque wrench or anything like that, because you see here the factory gives you a lug wrench. They don't give you a torque wrench, because as long as you put it on as tight as humanly possible, you'll be fine. There you go. That one's on. There you go. And then we can go ahead and let the jack down now and lower the vehicle. Alright, and then once you have it all the way down on the ground, go ahead and tighten it one last time. If you hear that noise, you know you got it on tight. If you can't push it with your leg, it's on tight. See how that one went easy? That one was not tight. Alright, now they're all on nice and tight. We're just missing the one from the locking lug nut that's missing. But we're tight. We can go ahead and start putting everything back where it goes now. Alright, well there you have it. That's how to change a tire on your Honda Ridgeline. Don't forget to release your parking brake. Just push that pedal down and it'll come back up and you should be able to drive away. Let's make sure that she's got that.